Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dive into the nitty-gritty of business and finance. And today we're looking at an acquisition that's making waves in the energy sector. Prepare yourselves, because this one involves a pretty major deal that could reshape the landscape of oil and gas. Before we jump in, if you love getting clear explanations of complex financial documents, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ding the notification bell so you don't miss our future dives also, if you want to connect with fellow finance enthusiasts and get real-time insights. Consider joining our Discord community. It's linked right down in the descriptions. So what's the big news? Vital Energy is being acquired by Crescent Energy in an all-equity deal, meaning no cash to stock. This is a significant move that will create a larger entity with a new combined footprint in the energy market. This report officially dropped on August 25, 2025, signaling the announcement of this major transaction. If you're a shareholder in Vital Energy, you'll want to pay close attention, because this deal directly impacts the value and makeup of your investment. This section lays out the core of the announcement. Vital Energy has officially entered into an agreement to be bought by Crescent Energy. This isn't just a small merger, it's a substantial change. Let's break down what this acquisition actually looks like. It's structured as a two-step merger, essentially meaning Vital Energy will be absorbed by Crescent Energy through a couple of legal maneuverings. The outcome is that Crescent Energy will emerge as the dominant force. Here's a key takeaway for Vital Energy shareholders. Once this deal is finalized, they'll own about 23% of the new combined company, while the current Crescent Energy shareholders will hold the larger chunk, around 77%. This indicates a significant shift in control and ownership structure. To discuss this big news, both Vital Energy and Crescent Energy put out a joint press release, and they are holding a conference call on the very same day, August 25th, to go over the details. This is standard procedure for major corporate announcements, ensuring investors and the public get the full story directly from the companies involved. On top of the press release, Vital Energy also released an investor presentation with the rather telling title, establishing a top 10 independent Crescent Energy to acquire Vital Energy. This title itself tells us that the goal here is to create a much larger, more significant player in the energy industry by combining forces. Now, it's important to note that this announcement itself isn't an offer to buy or sell anything. It's just the notification of the agreement. They are telling everyone that this is happening and that they will be filing more detailed documents soon. This section is crucial for investors because it outlines what happens next. Crescent Energy will be filing a registration statement, which is basically a detailed document with the SEC. This statement will include a joint proxy statement and a prospectus for Crescent. If you are a shareholder of either company, you'll want to read this very carefully. It will contain all the essential information needed for you to understand the transaction and make informed decisions about your investment. They are really emphasizing that you need to read these documents thoroughly. This is not just a formality, it's where all the critical details about your rights, your stakes, and the future of the companies are laid out. They also provide information on where to get these documents. For free, Vital Energy's website will have all the SEC filings, including financial information, and Crescent Energy's will also have their filings available. As an investor, keeping track of these filings is key to staying informed about the company's health and strategic moves. This part talks about who is considered a potential participant in the process of getting shareholder approval. For any acquisition like this, the leadership of both companies, directors and executive officers are considered key players. Their interests and holdings are disclosed to ensure transparency. They are pointing to previous filings like Vital Energy's proxy statement for its 2025 annual meeting to give you insight into what the leadership holds. This allows you to see if their interests are aligned with yours as a shareholder. Similarly, information about Crescent Energy's leadership and their stakes is referenced through their own filings, like their annual report. It's all about transparency and understanding who is steering the ship and what their personal investment is in the company's future. This is a standard but very important part of any corporate announcement. They are stating that some of the information included in this report might be forward-looking. This means statements about future events, expectations, and plans. These are inherently uncertain and can be affected by many factors. They're being very clear here. Many things that could impact the success of this deal are outside their control. Think about government approvals, market conditions, or even unexpected operational issues. They're directing you to their past filings to understand these potential risks, which is responsible disclosure. Essentially, they are saying that while they are making educated guesses about the future, these might not turn out to be exactly right. It's a reminder that even with the best internal projections, the real world can throw curveballs. This is a crucial legal disclaimer. They made these statements based on what they know today. If new information comes to light or something changes, they aren't obligated to update these specific forward-looking statements unless the law requires it. So always look for the most current information available. This section tells us what supporting documents are attached to this report. Exhibit 99.1 is the press release they issued on August 25th. This is the official confirmation and summary of the acquisition news. Exhibit 99.2 is that investor presentation we talked about with the title Establishing a Top 10. Independent, this likely contains more detailed slides on the strategic rationale of the combined company's strengths and financial projections. Exhibit 104 is the cover page in an interactive data format. This is for regulatory purposes, making the filing machine readable and easier for analysts and systems to process. Now, let's look at the bigger picture here. Vital Energy is being acquired by Crescent Energy to create a larger, more dominant player in the energy sector. This is a strategic move aimed at achieving better economies of scale, improved market position, and likely cost synergies, meaning they expect to save money by combining operations. For Vital Energy shareholders, this means their company is essentially being absorbed into a larger entity. While the 23% stake is concrete, the real value will depend on how well Crescent Energy integrates Vital Energy and how the combined company performs financially. The success of this acquisition hinges on effective integration, avoiding major disruptions, and realizing the expected synergies. Looking at the titles of the exhibits and the company's own statements, the ambition is clear: to become a top 10 independent energy producer. This means they are aiming for significant market share, production volume, and influence in the industry. Risks, as they've noted, are numerous and varied. Regulatory approvals are always a big hurdle. Then there's the challenge of actually blending two companies, their cultures, their systems, and their operations. If the integration isn't smooth, it can lead to inefficiencies and actually destroy value instead of creating it. Another major point is retaining key talent and customers during what can be a turbulent transition period. What concerns me is the inherent difficulty in integrating two companies, especially in a complex industry like energy. Sometimes the synergies are overhyped, and the reality of merging operations can be far more costly and time-consuming than initially projected. The all-equity nature of the deal means that the value for Vital Energy shareholders is directly tied to the performance of Crescent Energy stock going forward. However, the stated goal of becoming a top 10 player suggests a forward-thinking strategy to gain competitive advantage and operational efficiencies. If executed well, this could position the combined entity for long-term growth and profitability in an industry that is always evolving. In conclusion, this acquisition is a bold step by Crescent Energy to consolidate its position and expand its reach. Vital Energy shareholders should closely monitor the upcoming filings and the company's performance post-merger to understand the true impact on their investment. The success will largely depend on how well these two companies integrate and navigate the challenges ahead. So that's our deep dive into Vital Energy's acquisition announcement. What are your thoughts on this mega merger? Will Crescent Energy successfully become a top 10 player? And what does this mean for the broader energy market? Let me know your predictions and insights in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please smash that like button and subscribe for more detailed financial analyses like this. Don't forget to join our Discord community for more discussions and immediate insights as well. Thanks for sticking with us on Corporate Decoder, and we'll see you in the next video.